You'll notice that when we were practicing your debut solo grade 4 snare drumming routine, that I played the good version of Duncan McInnes, not the dumbed down version of Duncan McInnes.
Not the band version that we came up with recently?
Yeah, not the band version that is not quite as sexy, in my humble opinion, but I still play with the band.
It's definitely not as sexy, but
I feel like in a solo scenario where you're playing drums, I knew you were probably going to hang on those da 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 ba dum instead of doing the da 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 blah 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 blah.
But that's the good point. But to be fair, I probably give him the old version when he wrote this.
I'm pretty sure you did based on the drum score, because you held immediately in those parts. Anyway, hello everyone.
We'll analyze it later.
Yeah, we'll analyze it later. My name is Josh. Welcome to the Chain Rant Podcast. This is the world's worst bagpiping podcast. So if you didn't know, I'm gonna let you know right now. You have 5 seconds to go listen to something else. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sorry, I mistimed that slightly.
Do you have to change your pants?
I might.
And Fusco shit himself to start the show. Listeners can review the show on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, etc. We do appreciate those reviews, by the way, guys. It really helps us get new audience members. So if you do listen, if you're a long-time listener or a short-time listener, and you like the show and the stupid fart jokes we make, like the one you just heard, give us a little bit of a review. You know, have fun with it. Make it 5 stars and then say something horribly inappropriate.
Did you hear the amazing one I let out last week? Did you hear the episode yet?
Yeah,
awesome.
It was disturbing.
Yeah, it was awesome.
You definitely need to change your pants after that one.
That was a rough one.
Yeah, that was that one blew the old arsehole out right out you. Listeners can send us emails and voicemails to be played on air. You can like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or if you're Australian, Snapchat. Check out the Chanarant store at chanarant.com. And this episode of the Chanarant Podcast, like all episodes, is brought to you by our fucking patrons.
Absolutely.
Those lovely people who have decided to make the $5 a month contribution to listen to us make fart and dick jokes 4 times a month, 4 or 5 times a month. Depends. Yeah. It's like $1 a week, really, when you look at it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
really
savings.
That's amazing value. For your
value.
Money. Yeah.
I get an hour of improv comedy and bagpipe talk for $1 a week. We tried charging 50 cents a week, but Patreon wouldn't let us go that low.
Yeah. There's a minimum.
Yeah, last but not least, please invite, share with your friends. If you think they could be one of the 6, send them a link. Send them one of your favorite episodes. Tell them, hey, check this out. You might be interested. We're always trying to expand our audience of shitheads, vagabonds, and drunks.
It's not that hard to do, but slowly.
Not that hard to do in the pipe band community for sure. We definitely found our niche.
We did.
Fusco.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you know what really ghosts my phone on gig day?
What's that, Josh?
When you're showing up to an event or a gig or a social event or something pipe band related, and nobody fucking shows. And not only does nobody show, but people don't RSVP, or people RSVP and then don't show, or don't RSVP and then do show, and just generally lack the manners of any 18th century Downton Abbey type person.
I know. 200 years in the future, we still can't get this together. Yeah. I feel like we're repeating ourselves. So this sounds like something we talked about in like episode 3.
well, luckily,
and probably every episode.
Luckily, people who are tuning into the show now probably never listened to episode 3.
That's true. So we can start over.
Yeah, we can start over. Yeah, we can get this Ferris wheel of dog shite just rolling once again.
Yeah. I suspect we're going to get into more of that later, but yes, I agree. It
drives me nuts. And luckily, I mean, in this ties into some of the theme of last week's episode. We were talking about all the tools and tech and apps and systems that we try to create just to get grown adults to say whether or not they're going to be in a given place at a given time.
I got to remind them on a regular basis through that same technology. Like, please respond to this. Please go for months in advance and just do them all.
Just say yes, no, or maybe.
Hey, guess what? You can change it.
Yeah.
You don't. It doesn't mean you're locked in. Like you signed a devil with I just need contract with the devil.
Yeah. Well, if it's me, that's one of those things where it's like all I need you to do is say yes, no, or maybe. If you're not sure, say no. You can always change it to yes and have it be a pleasant surprise later.
What I found funny, remember, I don't know how deep we want to go yet, but remember the maybe we had from that gig from a week ago?
We definitely don't want to go that deep quite yet. We're going to save that for the topic of the week, because that is our topic this week. But first, let's get through some nonsense. We got an email. This person is identified as Cockadoodle. And they say, "Ahoy, you two retarded moose knuckles." Hard R, dude. We're not big on the hard R's here. And
Yeah,
we don't disparage the differently abled. We do disparage people who are actually retarded, though. So thank you for dropping new old podcast before you recorded the newest. I was getting pissed having to wait 2 whole extra days to listen to the rubbish of your show. Was listening while I was jogging this evening, to shrink my belly so my McLong hammer looks massive. Fair play. Also, you can turn back the pubes. That'll help. So I have a better chance to spread my seed at the Vegas games in April. Spew forth like an open hydrant in the middle of the summer in some ghetto street on a hot August day. Maybe get a chance to hashtag smoosh the kitten, which apparently is what we say instead of saying crush the puss now. Is it smoosh the kitten?
You were pretty drunk last week. Do you remember why that is?
I haven't listened to the show from last week because it just came out today, right?
Somebody heckled Doogie and put something like smush the
cat
or something like that, and they fucked it up.
Oh, that's true. Because then we talked about the whole fact that Wallop the cat from the Wicked Tinkers is essentially the same thing.
No, we never brought that up.
Oh well, they have a tune called Wallop the cat, and it's essentially the same thing as crushing the puss.
Yes, exactly. But Wallop the is that what that means? I thought it was a masturbation reference they were making.
Walloping the cat? No, I'm assuming it would mean like beating that pussy. But
I guess that makes sense.
If you're walloping the cat, right?
Yeah,
we'll call Aaron. We'll call Aaron. We'll get some confirmation on this.
Right
yeah, he's the only original member, I think. So fucking lost it and fell off my pace when Fooko was wanting to bottle. Oh, god damn it! Why can't I? So we get in the comment. Okay, fucking lost it and fell off my pace when Fooko was wanting to bottle his jizz for the next 31 years. I do remember this. I can only picture Brad shacking up at his place in April and milking him like a cross-eyed mad cow and capping off a gallon or two. Oh yes, tune that tenor drone. Signed, cockadoodle-doo, hashtag 1 of the 6.
Do we actually know who this guy is?
We do, but he used a moniker intentionally.
Okay.
But yeah, so I actually realized that we did some incorrect math as well when I was listening back to that segment, because I did listen to that segment.
Right.
I haven't listened to the new episode, but I listened to that segment because we were talking about where we want to put it in the episode. Mm-hmm. And I realized that we just kind of guesstimated without actually looking up. There is an average volume.
No, she looked it up.
But yeah,
I swear she was Googling it.
But when I listened back, it just sounded like she just kept saying teaspoon.
I swear I was very drunk, but I remember
she kept saying teaspoon, and I think teaspoon's actually a little higher than the average, which would make sense for either of us because we do we do jizz a lot.
That can't be higher than it. It's got to be more like 2 tablespoons, the average.
It's like 2/3 of a cup.
I don't know what you're producing over there, but I have no idea. But
I'm incredibly well hydrated.
Either way, it was funny to come up with 30 gallons.
Yeah, 30 gallons
by the end of this. Either way, that's funny.
Also, you have nowhere to store. You have nowhere to store 30 gallons in your apartment, man.
No, but I have a storage bin.
Is it refrigerated?
No, but we don't need it to be refrigerated. It'll be like
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it just hardens into bricks at that point.
Plus, it's hot in there, so it'll be like frying it. It'll be like frying eggs in it.
Okay, let's get off that because
it'll be like cracking eggs into
it's probably too soon. It's probably too soon for everyone that listened to that episode.
Nobody knows what we're talking about because they haven't heard it yet.
Yeah. Okay, so we did talk about the Big Rab Show Awards. I want to once again reiterate we are up for one, and Fusco is up for one that he will never win.
I'm gonna win. I've decided I'm winning this year.
You're not gonna win Best Beard.
Why?
There's no fucking way.
You don't think I can win?
Because it's rigged. I think you have the best beard.
I think
much like the world's, it's rigged.
You think if they go like Rab knows who he's going to pick every year?
Yeah.
Why would he go for 4 in a row?
Well, he doesn't know. He doesn't know who he's going to pick every year. He just texts Bob Worrell and asks him who wins.
Oh, well, there you go. I suppose. I'm telling you, I'm going to win this year.
So you can vote for, if you go to Big Rab Show Awards, you can vote for Fusco for Best Beard. You can vote for Chanarant for Best Social Media, which I'm assuming we were only nominated for that because there's no Best Podcast category.
Correct, yeah. There's only 2 of us, right? So,
that's true. Yeah, there really is. Well, there's sort of only 2 of us. That's one of the things I have on the list here for news and updates. Is I was listening to, and I only got about halfway through it. But actually, we had a listener write into us about this, about the Andrew Douglas long form interview with Glenn Brown.
Yeah,
and he's like, yeah, you guys should really comment on like how Glenn was like yawning so hard this entire interview that he couldn't even stay awake. And I was like, well, let me listen before I throw Doogie under the bus. I actually, aside from the first 15 minutes, which were a sound check, I actually really enjoyed a lot of the interview. I thought it was,
hear it at all.
yeah, so I would recommend it. So like essentially they had like 15 minutes of what we would normally edit out of like, oh, now we're too loud. Oh, now we're too low.
Yeah, he puts everything. He doesn't.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, well, now I'm buzzing kind of. Oh, well, let me put on my headphones. You know, like the stuff that any professional would usually keep in sound check and not put in the final product.
Right.
So like 15 minutes of that. But after that, it was, I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. They were talking about some of their experience in the worlds, like playing with different bands. It helps give me some context over like different grade 1 bands and kind of some of the historical value of some of these bands over the past like 5 or 6 years. Because I don't know any of that shit. I didn't follow it until very recently.
Right, yeah.
So I'm only halfway through. I will preface it with that. It could get shite boring in the last half.
Well, it probably will.
As these are wont to do. But I actually enjoyed. I actually enjoyed the parts where they weren't sound checking live on air.
Yeah, I think...
You know how we make the joke of like, oh, I'll edit that out. Right. And then we don't? He doesn't even make the joke. He just doesn't edit it out.
Just doesn't do it, yeah. Like, we always have a beginning and an end that we cut out. Like, it could
absolutely.
go 5 or 10
Well, if you're on the
minutes
stream, you get to... If you're on the stream, you see us fucking around trying to get our shit together. But.
Right, exactly. So... but yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear it. I heard they did do a class. They did a class together on the dojo this week, and I did listen to that. And I don't know if that. I don't think that's what they posted as a podcast. I don't think, but I thought it was interesting. I mean, yeah, they go down some deep holes sometimes, but as Chanaranners like to do, they like to go down holes.
Like to go down deep holes.
Preferably narrow deep, but you know what I mean.
Keep going. You got this.
I don't know.
I believe in you.
Yeah. So, interesting. Doogie did something that you didn't hate. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so far, I haven't finished it yet. So...
Will you bother?
I think so. Yeah, I think I'll finish it. I mean, most of the long form stuff he puts out usually makes me want to fall asleep. I do think that there is something to be said for editing. But I come from a background where you want to edit stuff to make it better.
Well, that's probably why they have an editing category in the Oscars, right? Because it's such an important part of.
It's all in the edit, baby.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I've learned a lot about editing over the years.
You've learned a lot about editing over the past 85 weeks.
Well, that too, but I just mean like video editing because watching you do it and like paying attention to things that I never thought were important. Like, for example, the timing between cuts.
Vital.
Like. It's not just back and forth like he's talking, she's talking, he's talking, she's talking. Sometimes it's as they get in closer as they're talking, or they pull away as they're talking, or the timing of it so it doesn't feel so like
well, and there's actually always a rhythm to it too. Like you'll see when I'm editing, I'm usually tapping my foot. I'm like, okay, here's a beat, and here's a beat, and here's a bah. Now it changes. Right. The other thing I remember one time, I don't remember what we were working on, but you were watching me edit something, and you were watching me cut a bunch of room noise.
Okay.
And I was like, I need to cut this room noise. I need to drag this room noise out. And you're like, what the fuck are you doing that for? I'm like, well, this is to cover audio stuff. Like we had one mic close, one mic far away. And so it was like just to blend all the audio together, which is a complete whole other animal. Mm-hmm. Imagine doing exactly what you do when you're editing the podcast, but then you have to do it with video as well.
Oh, no, it's way more difficult.
So, I mean, like but you like through editing the podcast, you obviously understand the basics. Like, I've listened to the podcast. It sounds good. Yeah.
Well, one thing I noticed, this is insanely boring, but like
that's okay. At least we're not sound checking,
right? But say I'm editing a commercial in like not a commercial, but like our little Patreon reads or whatever in between like a break or something. Like at first I didn't realize, but I've started to do it, and I don't know if I did it inherently or whatever. But like when I post, all right, hey, we're back. When your voice comes in at that point. After the end of the commercial, I always do it in the same music rhythm beat of whatever the music is, so that it feels natural. And when I don't do it, it like sort of, and I didn't realize it, but it sort of twists my neck around. Like, like why does that sound odd? Why is that weird to me? And then I start
look on the bright side. You'll never be able to listen to someone else's audio recording or watch another video that someone else edited without criticizing that for the rest of your life.
Oh yeah, I do it all the time. I listen to podcasts and I noise the shit.
It's like when I first tell people about the orange and blue problem with film. Mm-hmm. and then that's all you can see. Once you know it, you're just like, oh fuck, there's so much fucking orange and blue.
Unless you're in like Empire Strikes Back, then you're happy with the orange.
Yeah, then it's okay.
That was a choice.
So speaking of orange and blue, one shade lighter than orange is yellow.
Which is our favorite color here at the Chain Rant Podcast.
Especially when it comes to flashes.
Oh my God, yes.
And so we're very excited to announce the launch. We've been talking about this for a while. So we finally have launched the first ever Chanter Rant sock.
You've got to go to chanterant.com.
So if you go
and see this.
Yeah, so if you go to, and we'll post it on Facebook and maybe put a link in the description. But if you go to the Chanterant store at chanterant.com, we officially have casual socks with the yellow flash printed on it, so that you can represent your service band anywhere. You could be in a business meeting, you could be at the gym, always rocking those yellow flashes.
They're awesome. I just saw it today. It's goddamn funny.
Yeah. So I'm very excited. We will be right now. I think it's a white sock with yellow flashes and a black foot. I am going to make a black sock version as well, just so we have variety. And so that the yellow stands out even more. But yeah, if you have recommendations, let me know. But you can officially buy the Chanterant Yellow Flashes sock. You could always be rocking yellow flashes wherever you go. Service bands, you're welcome. All right, so moving right ahead, I wanna talk about something, and I don't know how far we want to get into this because I really want to get him on air. But much like the future of our great rug-headed president, the beloved long-term pipe major of the LA Scots Grade 2, Mr. Colin Armstrong, friend of the show, has stepped down. I put a note in here saying that Colin got impeached, but he didn't. He stepped down. He is now the pipe sergeant of the Grade 2 LA Scots pipe band, and Scott McDonald, former pipe major of the band, has taken over.
Right, correct.
Which is interesting to me. So I get it, because just because I know Colin personally, and I know that like he's got a beautiful family and young children that he wants to hang out with more, not a bunch of shithead bagpipers.
You think that's it?
I think that makes perfect sense to me. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this? Because you've actually known both these gentlemen a lot longer than I have, and you've known the LA Scots for a very long time.
I wouldn't say I know them personally. I don't really know Scott at all, other than meeting him a few times at games, and Colin a little more because of the show and stuff, and played in a couple bands, sort of that he managed or whatever. But anyway, this is a very interesting turn. I wonder. I'm just going to throw this out there. I have no inside information at all, but over the last few years, say, things have gone the wrong way for the LA Scots.
Oh, do you think this is like a punitive measure?
Maybe.
I couldn't see that. Yeah, like
I just I'm just thinking when a head coach loses a job of a football team, it's usually because things just don't turn around, or they start going in the wrong direction. Sometimes they pull the trigger early just to make the supporters happy, just that a change has happened. And I wonder if that's what happened here. I have no idea.
Yeah, well, and we're gonna reach out, try to get Colin on the show, because I'm very interested in hearing the thought process behind this. I didn't see it that way. I literally saw it as like a going hard in pipe band for like 20 years and like, okay, I'm gonna take a fucking break for once.
It could be. It could certainly be that.
That's
he hasn't been pipe major for 20 years, but
going hard for that band. I mean,
yeah. Well, he's been doing that since he was a kid.
Now he's like 55 years old.
I know. He's
still busting his ass.
He's an old man now.
Let me put it this way, Colin.
Who knows?
Colin, I know you listen to the show. I do want to talk to you about this. I don't want to get too far into it without you being able to tell us what's going on.
I don't know. Let's speculate. Isn't that what it's all about?
But as a fellow pipe sergeant now,
maybe his
welcome to the party, pal.
Maybe his band got signed and he just doesn't have time for it.
Being pipe sergeant is dope, man. Aside from the fact that it sucks.
Well, it's way easier than being pipe major, that's for sure. It could have been a choice. They just flipped roles. Who knows? Yeah. I don't know. But, last time they won anything, Scott McDonald was in charge. So maybe it's like, we got to go back to that. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Who knows?
That's interesting. Yeah, no, I'd be interested, and like I said, I'm sure we'll hear more about it, and hopefully get Colin on.
Now that I said that, we're definitely gonna hear about it.
I'm surprised we're not already getting angry text messages.
You fuckers.
But so anyway, you know what? Either way, good for you, bro. Get a fucking much deserved break, in my opinion.
Absolutely, man. I feel that pain for sure.
I've only been
at a shitty level that we never even do anything.
I'm about to say, yeah, we hardly do anything in our band, and I've been waffling among different kind of quasi leadership positions for a very long time, and I've been burnt out for years.
Yeah,
so
I totally get it.
I can only imagine how burnt out someone who is like had to just try to perform at that level for that long.
Oh, it's super difficult. Yeah,
I mean, it's not easy being the premier pipe band in North America.
Certainly isn't. Apparently, and when you lose that premiership, they toss you out.
But anyway, we're excited. We're hopefully gonna have. Hopefully, I'm excited about this because Colin has long told us that when I'm not head honcho anymore.
You're right. This is perfect.
When I'm not head honcho anymore, I'll be able to really dish.
He'll really open up to us. Yeah. You're right.
So I'm wondering, is now the time, or is it still? He's still pipe sergeant, so he still might not be able to dish as hard.
He probably won't. Yeah. I think he meant when he was like out.
So when he's 85, like doing his autobiography,
we'll be long dead by then. I imagine he will too. By the time he's 85, he'll long be dead.
His memoir, Smoky Eye, the Colin Armstrong story. But anyway, I would say congratulations. I think he's done a good job with that band, and I'm glad that he hopefully gets a little bit of respite.
Yeah. Good luck, I guess.
And I mean, I'd say good luck, Scott, man. Get it, bro.
Yeah, even more so. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck, bro. Good luck. Kick some fucking ass. Do your thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So good. We'll talk about that later.
So I see you put Honey Boo Boo on here. Is this most recent? Why don't you take this one?
I thought you should because he asked us to read it in an Australian accent, and I can't do one. And I think you should try.
I've read everything so far. You've barely been on this podcast.
I'll do the last one.
Okay. Okay. What? Give me a good Honey Boo Boo. What does Honey Boo Boo sound like?
Oi.
Good day, mates.
No, he's way over the top, but he's way country. So oi, he's real slow talker.
Oi, yeah.
Oi, my gashes. Just wanted to say, he's really.
That's pretty good. You should keep going.
Oh no, I'll fuck it up. I lose it real quick.
Oi. Sup, moist gashes. Just wanted to say, suck a bag of ball hair and tongue punch a fat box.
This is not his accent, but I like where you're
Quick
going.
update on the life of an Aussie with an association. All right, let's not touch that. Someone will get suspended for saying pipe band Straya soon. I only have one Australian accent, apparently. Wales was fucking bonza. Sash was fair dinkum all week, and yeah, it was ditbag Olympic worthy. Every time I saw Big Pooh Bear, I was in the beer tent, and boy, he is tiny. You still own the sticker, too. It was great to see so many ranters there, too. Forgot all your names, was pretty sloshed all week. Anyways, cock faces, dribble some shite later. P.S. Loved our video chats, fucko. And I think Stevie McSquirter hates me now, too. Later, sluts. Shout out to Mary, too.
I wonder why Stephen McSquirter hates him.
Because he calls him Stevie McSquirter.
I think he probably told me, and I don't remember. This is sounding familiar. I wonder if he went up to him.
Go back to the drunken ass Snapchats he was sending him.
Yeah. He might have actually said his name wrong on purpose, or he was fucking with him or something. I forget what it was, but we'll have to get him on sometime and tell the story. I forget why.
Stephen McSquirter? Or?
No, well,
hey, is Stephen gonna come play the concert?
Still no response.
Still no response?
Still nothing. So
the fuck, bruh.
I think he's hiding under a rock right now. He's just, it's end of the season. They just want to disappear for a little while.
What more does he have to win?
I guess. Well, it would be nice if he won the drumming championship. But, I mean, the sash. I'm just kidding. Jesus Christ.
Shots fired.
He's won the world champion solos thing like 14 years in a row or something ridiculous. I don't know.
Yeah, so why don't you do something for yourself once, Stevie McSquirter?
Let's move on, shall we? I'm trying to get him at the goddamn concert.
He would still have fun hanging out with us.
Oh, he definitely would.
Okay. So moving forward, we do have some new patrons. I did want to shout out to. Sorry, I have to pull. I don't have it ahead of me. Oh, I'd like to shout out to James McKenna, Katie Hope.
Who's the second one?
Katie Hope.
Oh,
two of our new patrons that decided to support the show. James, I believe, was in the chat earlier.
He was
passing out in
Glasgow.
So, thank you guys. Thank you for supporting the show. We love you.
By the way, that reminds me. Remember recently we were having a conversation with people in our band that are going there soon?
Yes, people that are going to Scotland.
Remember one of them, I don't know if you caught this, but I totally caught it. I didn't correct it because I don't really care, but one of them was like, oh yeah, well no, we only get 2 days there, but then we're going for 4 days to Glasgow.
I did catch that, and I didn't say anything.
I just let it go. Yeah. Like, please say that when you go over there.
I did catch it. I didn't say anything.
Because they fucking hate that.
Because I thought, I try to pick my battles.
Going to Glasgow.
Glasgow.
That's how they know you're an American.
Well, they already know you're an American, man. That's what I tell everybody. Like the thing that always, and I've bitched about this plenty on the show, so I don't have to go too far into it. But the thing that always drives me nuts is people who are here and American talking about how Scottish and Irish they are all the time.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, my family's Scottish, my family's Irish. Or like, oh, my grandmother's Scottish, and my family's like super Irish and super Scottish. It's like, your family's super fucking American, dude.
Right. They might celebrate their Irishness, but they're not.
Like you may be of Scottish or Irish descent, but you're fucking American. Trust me. Go to Scotland or Ireland and say, I'm Scottish too. And they're going to be like, nah.
Fuck off, bye.
Yeah. Like, you're fucking American.
There's a great video of that, YouTube video of somebody doing that.
Yeah. It always blows my mind. It's like when I travel, thank God that I've had the opportunities I've had to travel abroad.
How so? Why?
Because I would have been that fucking I was that person. I was that person that's like, I'm American or I'm Scottish or I'm Irish, blah, 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 blah. Look at me.
You definitely were. Yeah, I think we all were at some point in our life.
Yeah, and then it's like, I travel. Like I remember went to South America, and it's like, well, I'm American. And they're like, I'm fucking American too, asshole. I'm like, sorry, I'm from the United States. Like,
yeah, people are a little touchy about us being called Americans versus.
Yeah, but it's also I also got into an argument with a cab driver when I was in Argentina. I was like, motherfucker, if you say you're American, do people think, oh, he must be from Argentina?
No, you'd say Argentinian.
Yeah, like
whatever.
It's not a proper thing there where it's like, oh well, I live in Chile, so I'm American too. It's like, yeah, but if you say I'm American, people are going to think you're from the fucking United States.
That's right. Absolutely, they will.
So don't be harsh on me for saying I'm American when I'm talking to you.
People like to be
don't be a cunt about it and be like, well, so am I. Yo soy me too. Like I'm like, fuck you, dickhead.
Yeah, like chill out.
Yeah. Chill out, Chilean.
Everybody knows in this part of the world, America means us because we're the best.
Yeah, that'd be like if Jack was like, well, I'm American too. He would never say that.
He would never say that. He would say Canadian.
He would say Canadian.
Because their country has a name.
Just like every country has a fucking name.
Ours is United States of America. So guess what? I guess we're American. So, fuck off, whoever you are.
I guess continentally, yes, we're all American.
Yeah. So I just got this wonderful message in, just to add to our messages.
From whom?
I'm not going to say his name, but I'll let you see it.
Oh, fuck me rolling.
So he says, so I'm scrolling through the Facebooks and I see that Channerant is going live. I say this out loud and my 10-year-old daughter says, oh, one of the 6. Now I'm wondering if I left the podcast on after I picked her up from school.
You definitely did.
You love getting that like random weird crosstalk when
apparently that individual who shall not be named because they have been on the show before. Their daughter is now also one of the 6.
Yeah, perfect.
God, I hope it wasn't during when we were calculating your loads.
I can't. Oh God. Really? Well, nobody's heard it yet. They haven't heard.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Oh, thank God.
Just so you guys know, we were calculating the volume of my load over the last 30 years.
I think we came up with a workable number. But if you haven't heard to the episode that launched today, then there you go.
You'll find it out soon enough.
Okay, so moving through some of our show notes before we get to the topic, I don't think we need to go over the press for time unless you have something for that. I feel like I've been talking endlessly about it.
I don't even know what that means, to be honest.
Oh, that's my new whip.
Oh, now we'll go to that another time.
Yeah, and wait for it. Wait for it for a bit. We already thanked the new patrons, so we have another email which will lead into the topic. So do you want to do fail win of the week first and then read the email and go into the topic? Or what are you thinking there, Fusco?
Yeah, let's break it up and do something different. Let's do fail win early.
Fail win early. So we'll quickly switch over, talk to some of the patrons on the live stream, and then
Come back
and
and do that real quick.
Come back with this email and the topic of the week.
And then we'll pound some whiskey and try to get drunk before the last half of the show so we can act like idiots.
Yeah, of course, always. I mean, this is the Chanarant podcast.
That's what we do here, right?
All right, so real quick, here's a couple words from our sponsors. A thank you to our patrons. We're going to pop in and chat with some of y'all, and then we'll be back with the topic of the week, fail and win of the week.
Yeah.
Let's go play it.
Give it till it hurts.
Oh, yeah.
Patreon.com/Chanarant. Oh, yeah.
And we are back. Thank you so much to everyone who stuck around. Our live stream did drop temporarily, but I think we got a few people back, so that'll be fun. And we managed to iron out some of the details of the Chanarant USO tour, which
We did.
which I'm very excited about.
I can't wait to visit the troops.
Yeah, fucking episode 100 live from Afghanistan. Suck on that, rap.
It's going to be awesome.
So down. So Fusco, it is that time where you usually regale us with the delicious, scrumptious, and sometimes sour fail and win of the week.
Yeah, so we're going to start with the fail. So I thought I haven't listened to these, but I'm just going to assume, and based on time, that improvement was shown. So what we're going to do here is show every year in September, there's the Fallen Firefighters Memorial that happens in Colorado every year.
Oh, dope.
So like every firefighter on the planet, well, in America.
I'm about to say, every firefighter on the planet.
Well, maybe just America. Maybe Canada. I don't know if they go to this thing. But anyway, it goes to this thing because it's a hell of a party, apparently. I don't know. And there's like orgies that happen from what I hear. I have no idea. But
Just like the world.
they always perform.
Just like the RSCBA hot tub.
Right, exactly. So this is from 2013. So a whole bunch of firefighters, got to be hundreds and hundreds of people between pipes, drums, and bass drums. I mean, there's more bass drums than there are any other single group out there
Okay,
in this
nice.
thing. But so first we're going to play them from 2013, and then we're going to just show that like obviously firefighters put a lot of work in and have improved.
Oh,
over the years.
so you have a 6-year difference from 2013
I have
to
a
2019.
6-year different. Yeah,
Nice, dude. Hell yeah.
yeah. So
That's one of the things I love. One of the things I love about the internet age is you can capture these moments in time and really through like having everyone having an accessible audio and video recording device, you can really track progress over time very well.
You can. I mean, look at Inverary's video that they did, Ascension. I mean, they just happened to be filming, and they went from a shitty 3-person band to the world champs, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's what's going to happen here.
I mean, they're 2-time world champions and also Andrew Douglas.
Right, exactly. Do you realize Andrew's won more worlds with Inverary than with SFU, and he spent many, many, many more years in SFU?
How many worlds has he won?
2.
So he won 0 with SFU.
Correct. He was the bad luck charm. Mr. I'm the best player these guys ever had.
Well, I did like the Inverary set this year.
It was very good. But
Yeah.
So let's listen to the firefighter
Stewie McSquirter fixed the goddamn drums. Thank God.
Stewie?
Yeah, it's close enough.
Well, it doesn't matter. They're all the same anyway, right? So, all right, here's 2013 Firefighter Memorial. I don't know what this is, but let's see what happens. Well, this is definitely Ascension the beginning. You know what the worst thing about everybody in your band wearing spats is? Super easy to tell when somebody's out of step.
It does immediately draw attention.
Immediately, because they're all very white and you can see them moving together. All right, so that's pretty terrible.
The thing that I noticed the most is like the bass drums all essentially sound like people stomping on grandstands in a football game.
Yeah, there's no tone,
It's
no
just like
sound.
blom, 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 blom.
Yeah, plus they play that weird 3/4 beat. I don't understand.
Honestly,
what
I
it
just
is.
think it's like you can tune a bass drum
You can. It can be done.
and should.
Should be done. I think this is what my theory on that. This is completely off the top of my head, but I wonder if like a lot of these guys came from like high school marching bands. So then I have witnessed this as a matter of fact. So they put stuff in the bass drum and then they crank the shit out of it, so it's got that like marching band.
You mean like we used to put
sound?
like when we used to put pillows in the kick drum
And a kick drum of like a rock band or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. To deaden the sound so you don't have the tone, essentially, the ring.
You know, like you don't have to ring because you're probably gonna mic it.
Right, correct. You're gonna make sound in another way. But so I wonder if that's where that came from. I have no idea, but I've seen guys do that. I've seen because they didn't know what they were doing, so they in high school we used to put a pillow in the kick drum of the high school band or whatever. So they do.
I mean, it sounds kind of Blood and Thunder, but not entirely. It mostly
They're not hitting it that hard, but it sounds
But it mostly just sounds like horribly loose garbage St. Anger drums.
correct. Yeah, it's very terrible. So anyway, but I mean, this is 6 years ago, right? So I get it. I'm sure it's improved. So let's take a listen to that. So here we got 2019. I don't know where this came from. Somebody sent it to us, but here's 2019. Same thing. You ready?
Yeah. Oof.
Hold on. This can't be right.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, major note errors, but not okay. I'm still waiting for the sock drums to come in.
Oh, they're there. This video is not from a different angle, so they're far away. You can't really hear them. But here, let me see. Hold on. Can you hear them in the background?
Sorta.
They're so far away you can't even tell where they are. Ooh.
Why do people keep playing a B where there's an A?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. This is the same song, right? Hold on, let me go back.
That's Scout and the Brave.
Is that what they started with?
But it's a pretty consistent B where an A is supposed to be.
Oh yeah, no, they're playing the same tune. So, okay, though this backfired on me. I didn't expect this. So, wait, did they actually get worse?
Wait, so this is the later video you're playing right now.
The one, yeah, that was
Wait, give us a little more of a taste
of 2019.
Yeah. Well, I can't hear the drums very well, but the pipes definitely got worse because they still keep playing that darn.
Listen. I don't know what that person's playing, but they're playing another tune.
Yeah. So I would say the pipes got worse. The drums I can't hear, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's hard to tell with the drums. Okay, well, my mistake. I thought we were going to show improvement.
So wait, that was supposed to be the win?
That was the win. I just didn't listen to it ahead of time. I just assumed with time things get better with time.
How many times have I told you to do your fucking homework?
I thought I did. We were really crushed for time. I just thought like they must have improved over 6 years.
No, they forgot how to play Scott and the Brave over 6 years.
Time plus effort equals improvement, right?
False.
Time plus instruction plus effort equals improvement, right?
Yes. What if you just have time and no effort and no instruction? Then what do you get?
Fuck. I guess I didn't take that into account.
Yeah. You get people who somehow still can't play Scotland the fucking Brave, which is only the second most recognizable bagpipe tune in all of history.
Pretty much. Yeah, I guess so.
After Amazing Grace.
Yeah. At least in America.
Which I've also heard people fuck up.
Oh my God. I bet you if I found a video of them playing it, it would be terrible. I just didn't look for it.
So now that I'm triggered, let's get to the topic of the week.
Oh, Jesus.
So we have an email from one of the six, and it's finally your turn to read a fucking email.
All right, so let me read this one. One of the six says...
This is an anonymous email.
It is, okay. Hey, Josh and Fooko. You know what really puts a sink error in my Pele? When people don't do what they are committed to do. I went from a full, albeit small, band for a local event to 4 pipers and a bass drummer from another band. Since our manager quit, I had to finalize details and do the parade order. Okay. Since our lead tip does nothing. I chased our bass drummer to get the drum. Mallets are in the case. Not. I had to get the bugler, also a bass drummer from an army base a couple hours away, to bring his mallets. So I called the 6/8 set. We were leading troops. All of a sudden, double taps on the bass. Wait, what? I didn't give the cutoff. We're not at the whatever that is yet. I'm assuming that means end. Cenotaph? What does that mean?
I'm assuming it's a place.
We're not at the cenotaph yet. For the march past, one piper played a completely different tune for the first part. When I say anything about it, well, they are just volunteers. If I expect them to practice, show up and bring their instrument, they will have to quit their jobs, leave their families, etc. I could go on, but it's showtime.
That is a fairly common sentiment. Also, welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah, no kidding, right? So how funny. I do like the last sentence about like, People are so dramatic about, oh my God, you expect something from me?
This is my favorite quote.
I'm not going to be able to make a living if you expect me to practice.
If I expect them to practice, show up, and bring their instruments, they'll have to quit their jobs and leave their family.
That's a great fucking quote. There's so much perfect sarcasm in that and like dripping with venom.
As a person who has neither quit my job nor left my family to play bagpipes.
I know. How much time is there in a day?
And yet I still show up with my shit.
Show up with your shit. You show up knowing the tunes. So this person brings up like the commitment fact, right? So you alluded to this earlier in the show.
I did, yes.
Well, not alluded. You went right into it.
I immediately went for the jugular, as I am prone to do.
Oh my God. So I feel sorry for Matt, who's out there by himself, and he's actually probably enjoying himself because he plays by himself. Once he comes back to the States and plays in a band, he's going to be in fucking hell. It's going to be worse than being in wherever he is, Afghanistan.
You're not going to get exploded.
Well, true. Good point. Maybe not. But so let's discuss this thing for the 1700th time.
Well, it's one of those. It's one of those topics that's kind of evergreen. You know, like it never goes away.
Never.
Like the idea of commitment, the idea of you can have a functional life and also make time to be a successful player. Like that's what blows. And like maybe, and I think it's because in our specific case with our band, the band that shall not be named, I think that we're maybe not the best role models to demonstrate this because we give so much of our time to the band.
We're not the best role models to demonstrate what?
To demonstrate the fact that you can like just lead a normal life and still have time to practice and be a good musician.
You mean like, so we're not the norm?
We're not the norm because one, we've been doing it so much longer than anybody else in our band.
Okay, right.
And two,
but there's a reason we've been doing it.
It appears like we dedicate every single moment of our time. For me, you actually dedicate absolutely. Every single moment of your time to this.
A lot of it, yeah.
And people think like, oh man, that's what I have to do. That's what I have to do to make it. It's like, well, no, like I still have lots of irons in the fire.
Oh yeah, we do a lot of stuff. Like besides this,
like there's all kinds of shit that I'm getting into. I just try to practice now and then so that I know my shit. And yes, I don't practice as much now as I used to. I don't have to. When I was first starting out, I had to practice more. When I was in Ireland, I had to practice more to get caught up on stuff. But it's one of those things where I think that like we may not be the best role models just because people look at us and they probably think like, oh my God, these guys live brave and shit bagpipes. And for you, that's true.
Yeah.
For me, I'm just like, no, like I'm 90% of my time I spend at work.
But we're not asking people to do what we do.
No. But even then, like, use me as an example. I spend the vast majority of my energy on work. Not on pipe band, not on Highland games, not on
right, sure, okay,
other extracurricular shit. Like I spend the vast majority of my time working. And yet, I find time to learn the music.
Well, what about this argument? But you've been doing it so much longer, it's easier for you now.
That's true. That's a completely accurate argument. But
you're
back,
not like
back when
we're
back
not
when,
in the same place of the timeline of our
like back when I was 2 or 3 years into it, I couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it that way. It didn't work that way.
like okay, the changes to the MSR and the medley are a great example of this. I learned those last week and then played them this week.
Right. Okay.
And I learned them at practice. Like you sent it out and I totally missed it. Uh-huh. It got lost in the shuffle. And I was like, wait, show me that again. And you're like, this. And I was like, okay, cool. And I've been doing it that way ever since, except for when we did your little solo piece here.
Right. Okay.
Like I've been doing it ever since, doing it that way.
Well, okay,
but that's the advantage of doing this for 16 fucking years.
I was just going to say, like, you can't compare you to 3-year people in or
like
5-year people
when I was 2 or 3.
Except that you put your time in then so that you could do it now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When I was 2 or 3 years into it, that I would have had to practice that change every fucking day.
Right. Numerous times a day. Probably.
Easily for me to get it. Like when I was 2 or 3 years into it, when I was at where most of our band mates are at right now, I would have had to practice it every day for 2 weeks to get it.
Right.
Absolutely. And like, it's hard for me to like translate that. I was like, yeah, like, no, you need to work on this. Well, do you work on this? Well, no, but I've been doing it for 16 years. Like, when I was where you were at, I had to bust my fucking ass.
Right, correct. Plus, I'm not making that mistake, so why would I work? I don't have to work on it now, or whatever. But yes, I get what you're just saying.
Like back then, I had to bust my fucking ass to do this, just to get the basic shit right.
Right. So, but
I had horrible expression. My bagpipe was a balloon that was a large bag leaking air all over the fucking place. My drones were howling fucking air horns. Like,
plus the knowledge back then was way worse.
Nobody knew the shit we know now.
Right.
Like, it's crazy to me.
Yeah. But maybe that's the thing.
My bagpipe now
maybe the people aren't suffering.
Plays so much better and sounds so much better than the first 10 years of me playing the instrument.
Maybe people don't suffer enough. Maybe we need to make them suffer, put them on balloon bags and open the drone reeds up.
Here's the thin Kevlar balloon bag with fully open easy drones that I played when I started. That was just like, it was, I need an air compressor to keep the goddamn thing going.
Sounded like one of those horns in a football match. Like all the time.
Yeah, dude. It sounded like a fucking, like every drone sounds like a didgeridoo. And all the reeds were 2x4s, and no one knew how to shape them or calibrate or do any of that shit.
We didn't know anything. Just play this, but it's fucking hard.
I mean, okay, I say nobody knew how to do it. People knew, just nobody out in Las Vegas.
No, nobody here for sure.
Yeah, nobody this far west.
Even that kind of knowledge was back then reserved for the pros. Like they didn't share their secrets.
Like the first time I saw Colin Armstrong in 2006, like lightly shave a reed. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And even back then, that was like, no one knew really what it was. Just people knew that other people were doing it. I mean, it took so long for the information that is considered standard in the UK to make its way to us, all the way on the west coast of the United States.
Oh, for sure. That still happens, to be honest. But just,
I mean, the amount of people who are Americans, like West Coast Americans, who can really apply some of the shit that we've seen with Jack or with Stuart, or like the shit we saw when we were over in the UK. Like you can name it on 3 fingers. There's like I could name on the West Coast like one American who I would maybe consider for like shaving my reed and like adjusting my drone reeds and shit. And like
back then, you mean?
No, now.
Oh, now. Okay.
Like people just don't know. People didn't know.
Right.
And then you have people who've been playing pipes for like 1 or 2 years, and like, well, is that what you're doing? It's like, motherfucker, do you have any idea how much easier this is for you than it was for me? You're playing fucking Bruce Hitchings drone reeds, which are the most amazing, easiest, best sounding goddamn drone reeds in the history of time. Your drones are calibrated. You're playing fucking hybrid bags that didn't even exist when I started.
Right.
You have an appropriately sized bag.
Right.
We actually give a shit about it being airtight now.
We care about it being efficient.
Yeah.
The bag is not 2 sizes too big for you.
Yeah.
Remember when we started? I remember this very clearly. The British guy that was in our band. Nah, you got to go bigger. Bigger's better. Bigger, bigger, bigger. Like everybody, and he wasn't the only one. I'm sure he heard this from his people too when he learned. But like bigger was always better.
Dude,
so I couldn't even, my arm would go numb constantly. I'm like, this can't be right. Is this the way it's supposed to be? Yeah, you just fight through it. Like,
yeah.
What? Okay, I guess I'll do that.
I could snap someone's neck with my left arm if it was underneath it right now. Like just based on the shitty ass bags I had to play when I was starting out. Like I remember we did a gig. I don't know if we talked about this on the show. We may have. But we used to play, like, when we'd have, like, barbecues, like, birthday parties at my folks' place. And we do these big-ass redneck barbecues at my folks' place all the time.
Right.
Which now I have the appropriate vehicle for.
You do.
But I remember one time, remember when the guy came that was, like, he was on Good Morning America?
Yes.
And he was, like, busking across the states playing pipes. And the doc brought him to this, like, redneck-ass party at my folks' place.
I do remember this, yeah.
And the dude's like, well, I want to play. I was like, absolutely, man. Like, you can play my pipes if you want. And so I gave him my pipes, and he fucking couldn't get the chanter to make a noise.
That's right, yeah.
Like, couldn't even get the chanter to sound. Those must have been the hardest goddamn bagpipes in existence. It was a balloon bag. It was a large balloon bag with a hard-ass 2x4 reed.
Yep.
Which is the only reason that
Wide open easy drones.
Honestly, I credit the shitty setup of that bagpipe to the only reason I'm of any like physical stature today.
That could be it.
Like, I just had to grow up to a point where I could like squeeze that bastard. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, oh my guys, do you have any idea how much easier this is? Like, remember when I moved back and you taught me about like drone calibration.
Oh yeah. I remember this.
And like we downsized my bag. Yep. We airtight him. Eric Pileski airtight my bag. We downsized it. Like you taught me how to calibrate my drone reads, and I was like,
yeah, we reset the shit out of everything.
It was literally just like, oh my god, this is the most pleasant experience playing a bagpipe I've ever had.
I mean, I don't have to kill myself?
Because like I remember we used to play gigs together, and I tried to play your pipes, and I nearly blow the fucking drones out of the stocks.
Yeah, like literally.
I was like, wait, how is this so easy? I don't know what to do.
Yeah, man.
Because nobody fucking knew, man. Like nobody knew shit.
Yep.
And the people that knew shit weren't sharing it.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's the secret of the pro thing, and you have to credit internet technology for like spreading that information.
I largely credit Doogie.
I wasn't going to say it, but
I hate giving Doogie credit, but I largely credit Doogie for like demystifying shit. You know,
correct, for a lot of people for sure. And there's probably others too, but like that's where I learned it 9 years ago originally. So even playing in like the Seamus band, like we just played sheepskin bags and big ass hard ass cane reeds, and just suck it up, suck it through. Big ass reed.
Is that why we used to be in better shape? Is because we used to play harder pipes?
Probably, yeah.
And now
that's why I got the dad bod now.
Yeah, now we both have dad bods because we made our pipes too easy.
They're too easy. Yeah, I need to work harder. So this all, and it's a bit of a tangent, but it all ties back in this idea of like people just not showing the fuck up, mentally and physically,
emotionally,
yeah, whatever.
I don't care if you show up emotionally.
Oh no, I think that goes somewhere.
If you can physically,
if you come in with an attitude and you're resistant, then it's still going to be an issue, right?
If you can physically and mentally show up, I'm okay with that.
Oh, okay, I'm with you. All right.
Like if you can mentally be present and you can. This has been a concept that I've been obsessed with lately.
Oh.
Is the concept of being present.
Okay.
And it's mostly based on like me, like sorting out my own shit, like life-wise, work-wise, personally, like all that. And at the end of the day, as long as I'm like not obsessing over something that happened earlier or over anticipating or over aggrandizing something that's coming towards me, I'm pretty happy, which is why I've been so much happier lately than I used to be. That and obviously edibles, but
yeah, and banging whores. Or I mean,
not really, man. I
just like to get you in trouble with all the various girlfriends you have out there.
I've been laid. I don't think I've been laid in like 2 weeks.
No,
I don't even have
4 days.
I don't even have various.
Dude, I saw the hooker you got the other night. I saw her show up.
Wait,
I was walking out when you.
Did I see? Are you sure that was me?
Could have been Lucy. I don't know.
Okay, you know for a fact I can't afford hooker.
Definitely.
But yeah, it's been nice. I've been, I've been a selfish bastard lately, which has been a lot of fun.
So wait, how does being selfish connect with your the new you, if you will, the philosophy you're going for now of
being
present and all that?
Yeah, like I'm going for a philosophy of being present. I'm going for a philosophy of saying yes to things, which has always been kind of what I do. I try to, because the way that I always mask it is I say do it for the story, but I'm doing more things for the story now than I usually do.
So you're learning from me.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. It's not. When I say things, I'm not saying people. I'm saying like actual things.
Yeah, like mine usually relates to people.
Yeah, usually for you, you're just slamming out in the same 3 bars.
Well,
but yeah, no, I've been
as Robert Frost once said, way leads on to way.
Yeah, well, I've just been very focused on enjoying the moment I'm in, which has vastly improved my pipe band experience, because when I'm at practice, that is usually like one of my happy places. Like doing the show is one of my happy places. Yeah. Like doing this right now, I thoroughly enjoy this.
Right.
Going to practice on Tuesday, even when I'm frustrated, even when things aren't going the way, even when we have good nights versus bad nights, whatever, I'd still rather be there doing that, playing music with my friends, than like sitting at home in front of a couch watching Netflix.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. My new thing, I hear my new thing?
I do.
It's only been a week or 2 of this, but I've decided that I'm no longer going to let people in band. Do you hear that?
That's a It's a helicopter.
Oh
You're
my
okay.
God, really? It's like vibrating through my hair. Anyway, sorry.
It's a big helicopter.
I'll edit that out.
It's a big helicopter.
Yeah. Like, we're in trouble here. So
That's okay. Dude, do you have any idea how many firearms are back there?
Yeah,
we're fine.
But can
We
we
got firearms and protein bars for days.
I was gonna say, can we grow our own food in your dirt lot?
I got rice, frozen salmon, protein bars. We'll be fine.
Well, okay.
I just bought a 24 pack of beer. We'll be okay.
All right, perfect. So
We got this much whiskey.
So anyway, my new philosophy is this: I'm no longer going to let people suck the energy out of the room on me. I'm very much affected by other people at band, and I don't know. I'm trying to not let that happen. I'm walking in like, you know what? I'm going to be me regardless. I'm tired of like trying to like, and by not being me, I just get angry, and then I'm.
Well, this is an interesting thing because I thought about this recently a lot too. You and I talked recently about how you're like so much less stressed that I've taken all like the stupid ass, the day-to-day secretarial shit, you know, of like organizing students and like chiming in on these fucking board emails and all this crap.
Yep.
I say all this crap. Like, I'm happy to be involved and I'm happy to help. I'm very happy to lend my experience to the group overall.
Sure.
But like, I've seen you de-age in the past like 4 months. Well, not the past 4 months, like the past 2 months easily. Yeah. I've seen you like age backwards.
Yeah.
Ever so slightly, which is nice.
Is the gray leaving my beard? Or is
it is. It actually is. Your hair is advancing instead of receding. You have an advancing hairline.
That's funny.
But I mean, you know, we talked about this way back when we had what was the episode? A New Plan.
Yeah, I don't remember which one that was, but yes.
And it's actually working. I mean, it's taken for fucking ever, but it's working. Granted, it's causing me more stress, but not too bad.
Yeah, things like that are slow, and it's been slow moving. I mean, we've had some fast movement in the last month, but like it's generally.
Oh, the drums are taking off.
It's been a year of like, oh Jesus, here we go, another day. It's longer.
But I also think that there is a common misconception because we do the show and we did the videos and we do all the social media presence. I think there's a common misconception that you're an extrovert.
Oh, people think that all the time,
which is completely inaccurate.
100% wrong.
Yeah, like,
and I tell them, I'm like, no, I hate everyone, and I want to hide in my room all the time.
Absolutely.
Like, and they're like, but what?
And
you're the face of, you know.
And like, people don't believe it because I put you in front of the camera and I put you in front of a microphone so often, and you do a good job because of years of us doing the same bit
it's
forever.
just us talking. That's all.
But yeah, like people think like oh man, like Andy was kind of like cold and distant and it really wasn't like him. I'm like, no, that's exactly like him.
That's exactly me.
Like, and I tell people all the time, I'm like, no, that's like, you just don't know him very well. and people get, the funniest thing to me is like, people get frustrated by it. People get like offended.
Correct.
People get
they think that means I don't like him.
Yeah.
Or something. I get that all the time.
Like, Andy was like really distant to me and like, he didn't talk to me very much and then he just left. Like, is everything okay? I'm like, I'm assuming he went and got...
That was me running away.
I assume he went and got Taco Bell and went home and played video games.
Correct. That's exactly what I did. Here's a funny story about that. Like I don't remember if you were in on this or not.
And the thing that I tell everybody, and like as soon as someone gets like a super offended or super like concerned or whatever, I'm just like, you obviously don't know the guy very well.
Right.
Because I get people all the time like, oh, well, he's so this or he's such a this or whatever. It's like, How are you friends with him? How have you been friends with him this long? I'm like, because I know exactly who he is. I know exactly how he is. And I never expect him to be something that he is not. I would be the perfect girlfriend.
But is that my own damn fault? Because I do play a role.
Like, well, you do put on a character for the show. This is true.
No, I don't even before that though. Before like
well, you put on a role because you're constantly trying to slay.
Well, there's that too, but I'm talking more like the happy-go-lucky. Hey, like if I have to, I can put that on. Like if we're at a band or gig, or I mean, sometimes I don't, but a lot of times I do.
I'm interested too, though. Like, do you do that out of an anxiety thing? Do you get anxiety in like social situations?
Not anymore.
I guess
I used to.
The way that I define it is always like, do you put on the happy-go-lucky role to make yourself feel better, or to make other people feel better?
To myself. For sure.
So it's not an anxiety thing.
No, I don't think it's anxiety. So, for example, like I remember, like if I'm in a room of strangers, like say we went to Winter Storm and we basically knew nobody, or I went on a cruise and I knew almost nobody except maybe Andrew and Carl, more or less.
And like, Andrew Carlo?
Exactly. But I go into like Fooko mode, even if I'm not drinking, like I'm super happy and like over the top, but I'm like in my head, I'm like, I want to be anywhere but here.
It's a character.
Kind of, but but I have to in order to get through the day or whatever, through the moment or whatever it is. So here's a funny side story to that a little bit. But
you've essentially described every time I have to be at any kind of an official event.
Oh my God, especially official events, formal situations. Like I dread every second of it because I have to put on this like, I am a normal human being.
How many times have you seen me do this where I'm just like,
right, exactly correct. That's what it is. Yeah, for sure. So just recently, I was told, I don't remember if I told you this or not, but
this has gotten unexpectedly deep, but I love it. Let's keep going.
The mother of one of my students.
Okay.
One of the
keep it at that level of vague.
Recently,
because I know who you're talking about.
I found out that she thinks that I don't like her. Just 2 weeks ago, something like that.
Really?
I don't think it's who you think it is.
I'm starting to. As soon as you said that, it changed my opinion of who it is.
Yeah, I don't think it's who you think it is. It's so, and I found this out because the students showed up and they were sort of like ragging on me a little bit, and I'm like, what? They called me a name or something. I'm like, where did that name come from? They called me. Actually, I'll say it because it doesn't matter. They were like coming through the door and they called me Awkward Andy. I'm like, why do you call me that?
Okay, that does give me some context.
Yeah, so I'm like, and they're like, well, because you're so strange and you're like weird around people or whatever. I'm like, oh, so you picked up on that? Duh, right? I know this.
No shit.
So, but then this person, one of these people, told me that there was like 3 or 4 in this group of people sort of chattering with me, and it was like, oh, well, it turns out that this person's mother thinks you don't like her. I'm like, I've barely spoken to her. Like, I have no opinion of her whatsoever. Like, why would they think that? Like, I don't know. Like, why do they care? More importantly, why do they care? Like,
yeah, more importantly, who gives a shit?
But this is my persona. Like, I'm like, I have no reason to be the over the top person with that person.
Do you ever wonder, like, in an alternate universe, in a separate timeline, we never did the Las Vegas pipe band videos. Like, we never did the podcast. We never did any of this shit. Like, who is that Andy? Who is Earth 52 Andy? That
dude, I would have like probably shot up a school or something.
like or Earth 52 Andy is like 300 pounds. Like dies choking, stroking himself. Like,
well, I mean, I suppose in alternate universes, every possibility exists. So
well, of course, yeah.
So of course that's possible. But I don't think I'd ever be the choke myself to death masturbating fat guy because I don't think I'd ever get to that point. But like without like all this, if I never made that decision to learn pipes and like ended up in this world,
like what if? Well, it's not even that. I wasn't even thinking about that. Like I think pipes overall, you would have been fine. I think like without any outside influence in piping, you would have just like moved to Northern Ireland or Scotland and played in a different band, or Canada and played in a different band. I still think you're probably going to eventually move to Canada and play in a band.
I don't know about Canada, but maybe if I get married.
Well, Mary said she's gonna marry you. Or no, Elise Instagram me, said she already agreed to marry you. So
that's correct. Yes,
that's a tacit agreement. But yeah, like I think about this sometimes. I'm like, okay, in an alternate universe, Josh never moved back to Vegas.
Okay, where would you like? Okay, let's go down this road.
So Josh never moved back to Vegas. Never got back involved with the Las Vegas pipe band. All the weird shit videos and fucking social media. All the crap that we're in now.
Okay.
That eventually led to Chanaran podcast. So what happens to Andy?
That's interesting. So, because I was pipe major at the time, before you left, even, right?
You were pipe major when I left.
Was I? Okay, so we created the concert when you weren't around, right?
Yeah, the first concert I attended as a guest.
Right, that's right. I remember that. Yep.
And it was dope.
So I remember thinking, like, this is gonna sound so like gay. In a way, but like I have this need to perform, and even without you.
Why is that gay? You're talking about like happy? Or you're talking about like homosexual?
Like like just sissy. I don't know.
Why is the need to perform?
Just let me explain it. And then
I have a need to perform. Doesn't make me any less masculine.
I'm a different generation. So, but what I'm thinking is like even while you were gone, like I had no partner in crime, if you will, like nobody like listening to my dumb ideas. Well, we had Evelyn, but she just kind of helped me do whatever I wanted to do, more or less. But she wasn't like in on it. She just like helped it happen, right? You know. So, but I was still in this mode of like, man, I got to do something. Like we got to create this concert because we need to do something. I need to do something.
Something has to happen.
Something has to happen, and I wasn't doing anything.
This reminds me of when you used to give me shit over my involvement in the Highland Games. And it's
Okay.
like, well, like they'll do it without you. I was like, no, like it has to happen.
Well, that's different though. You're saying the games has to happen. I'm talking about like I need to perform has to happen. I need to have an outlet.
Okay.
So are you saying that the games is your outlet, or are you saying that the games has to happen?
The games is the games has to happen, and it's also an outlet of mine. It's an outlet of, like for me, it's a very similar thing to the pipe band and the podcast, where it's an outlet where I get to exercise all the skills and managerial energy that I have accumulated over time in an environment where no one says, well, you're 28, what do you know?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but that's just
People just say,
that.
you're Josh, you know the most about this. Go for it. Instead of saying, you know, when I'm in the professional world, and they're like, well, yeah, I understand that, you know, you've raised several $100,000 for your current company that you work for, and that you help run this, you know, $250,000 nonprofit organization for free as a volunteer to run festivals every year. But you're 28. I don't know if I feel like you have the managerial experience that we're really looking for. I'm like, son of a bitch. Like,
right. Yeah, but that's just human discrimination. That's just, I mean, it's whether it's bad or good.
I mean, I could bitch that I've been discriminated against because of my age, but I'm also a tall white male, so I really don't have a lot of room to complain.
I don't know.
How many times have I been arrested? 0. How many times have I probably should have been arrested? Multiple.
Yeah. But I don't know.
But the funniest thing for me is always like, and I run into and we're way deep down a tangent, but the funny thing to me is like, I remember I had a bunch of people. I work for a nonprofit. I won't say which one, but I work for a nonprofit, so we have a board of trustees. And I had a bunch of people from my work board of trustees come to my Highland Games. Mm-hmm. And they were fucking blown away.
Okay.
By the event overall. And they're just like, we know how many hours you work for us. How the fuck do you do this in your air quote free time?
Right.
And I was like, I have an awesome team. I have a very dedicated board. I have 100 volunteers who would work harder for nothing than any person would work for money. And yeah, so we do this for shits and gigs.
Right.
Essentially because we like to, and we like to fuck around, listen to bagpipes, and drink beer.
Right.
And they just looked at me like I was a crazy person. They're like, really? Like you have 120 volunteers on the ground right now just because? I was like, yeah, I know each one of them. I can tell you their names. Like we can walk around. Like, it's like, you know what the difference between you, my work board, and me, my nonprofit volunteer board? The difference is we actually give a shit about every single person here.
Right. Yeah.
I know the bands. I know the dancers. I know the pipe bands. I know the athletes. I know the vendors. Like, we give a shit about everyone that's here. That's why people will work for us for free. That's why people will put the effort in to make it a good event.
Yeah.
Because we genuinely care. Granted, those are the only people I genuinely care about.
Right.
That and Lucy, obviously.
Well, yeah. Because you're a selfish prick, but fuck. Fuck. Damn it. So, should we get back to the actual topic?
Yeah. Lead us in.
So
Exercise your skills, man. You got mad podcast skills.
So my other point was, I'm not going to let anybody affect me, like just enjoying being it. Because as you described earlier, like I used to enjoy coming here. Like even when it was sucked, I was happy being there. And it hasn't been happy being there for a while until like the last month or couple months, say, or whatever.
Well, the last 2 months, you've been pretty keen.
That's what I'm saying. Like a couple months, but it's flipped. It's definitely changed. But my point was like, I'm like, even when I come over the pipes, I'm like so tired of people sucking the energy out of the room that I'm like, I'm going to run right through that fucking, like, the trooper buddy. I got that fucking bayonet charge right through the fucking negative cloud, the black cloud that people are bringing into this goddamn thing. I'm tired of it. Like, because I got sucked. It sucks the energy out of me. And it's hard because then I get very negative and mean and whatever. And then it's not fun for anybody. It's not fun for me. I go home feeling bad. I don't want any of that. Like, I'm tired of that. Right. So, but part of that is, of course, being on the drum side has been fun because these people don't know any better. So it's like whatever I tell them is truth. So they don't know any better. Where other people, if you come into an organization and there's one bad apple, not even a bad apple, but somebody that has a different way of doing things, which is this person that wrote this email, I think, is dealing with.
Yeah.
That sort of poison's the wrong word, but like the culture isn't what you want it to be because there's somebody that's still holding on to an old way of doing things or something like that. I think we have that on the pipe side. And we were talking about this the other night about like people being affected by other people and how I think that's dangerous. It bothers me that there's these people that have potential from like an emotional positivity standpoint and these people that are dragging them into this negativity sort of like sarcastic everything.
Yeah, but I also think, I mean,
we had this 10, 15 years ago. Remember we had the snarky crew and how fucking painful that was?
Granted, it was so much easier back then because they were tenor drummers.
Yeah, nobody would listen to them, so who cares? But so going back to the point of people being non-committal, like just answer the fucking question, people. Like it doesn't tie you in anything. Like you could say yes, no, or maybe. But here's the thing. This is the thing that fucking threw me for a loop this last week. And if I were you, I would have lost my fucking mind. But I lost my mind and it wasn't directed towards me, right? So what happened was...
How do you know I didn't lose my mind?
You might have. You just never brought it up to me. But I would have been insanely furious. So what happened was... the question is how many... I got to try to limit this as best I can. But we had this gig a week ago. We had a guy who asked to try to get out. He had said yes, he was willing to do it, but he had a kid's event come up that he needed.
Did we not do this on the last episode?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay.
So he had a kid's, like his daughter had a softball game, and he was like, I'd really like to go. If somebody will cover for me, I'd appreciate it. But we had nobody else. I'm like, dude, they were paying for 4 of us. Everybody else said no. We are the 4.
Everybody else out of how many?
12. 10, 12? I don't know.
Easily 12 people. So we only needed...
We needed 3 pipers and a snare, and I was on snare.
You were going to be the snare.
Right. So
we needed 3 pipers.
So he wrote...
Two were already taken care of.
Correct. We had you and Angel 100%.
We only needed 1 more piper.
We needed 1 more person to cover for this guy, right? But he had already said yes, and he was like, listen, if you can't find anybody, I'll do it. But I would love to be able to go to a game. Like
go to his daughter's fucking softball game.
Right? So I'm like, all right, well... I've already told him the price. I've already negotiated. This is like I've got to send 4 people. I mean, I could back out. I could back out 1, but it just looks bad. And I hate
the problem is that's why we're suffering on revenue for gigs.
Correct.
Is because we cannot commit enough people.
Correct. I think that's part of it for sure. So anyway, I put it out there. Like I asked him, listen, it's your responsibility. Find a replacement. If you can't, then I'll really get it. Then I'll start getting involved. So. He tried. He couldn't. Nobody. No, like he put out a post.
He put a post
out. He's like, "Please, my daughter's."
He put a plea out.
He's like, "I'll do it, but please." And nobody even responded.
That's what pissed me off.
And I can tell who reads these things. You can see it.
We have read receipts.
Read receipts. It tells you who saw it and who read it.
That's what set me off the fucking edge.
I was like, nobody's even going to say no. Like, say this is an appropriate response to say, "Hey, man, I teach a class on this night. I can't do it." I already committed to blah blah blah. Whatever. Like,
this is where Josh comes in,
right? So, just about this. So I see like nobody's responding. Nobody's even responding. Like I'm like, okay, this is kind of shitty, but this is one of your guys. This is one of the team, right?
It's one of our family, dude. One of our bros.
Like at least say, listen, I'd love to, dude. I would totally help you out, but blah blah blah. That would be at least then we know there's a reason.
But radio silence.
Radio fucking
is
silence.
I'm waiting for someone else to chime in.
Correct. Radio silence.
That's what pissed me off.
So then I'm like, okay, nobody's
and you
responding.
and I talked about this. Because I called you because I was fucking livid.
Right. Yes. And I was like, I watched this happen because I wanted to help him, but I'm also like, listen, I already committed. Somebody's got to do it. I don't care who does it, but somebody's got to fucking do it. So anyway, radio silence. So I'm like, so then I posted something about like, hey guys, I see nobody's responded to this. Bill, it would be really nice if somebody helped him out. I don't. And Rick had offered like a week ago, but fuck, I said his name. Shit.
That's okay. No one's gonna know.
So
he's new. No one knows. No one knows who Rick is.
So this one guy responded and said, "Well, he comes from an hour and a half away." But he's like, well, I'll come out for the gig, but I can't drive out twice a week. I won't come to practice.
He
So
literally
I'm like-
he literally drives from fucking Utah,
From Utah to us every week.
which
Every week.
makes him an
Which is about a
amazing
2-hour drive.
makes him an amazing fucking human being.
It's about an hour and 45 each way. So he drives about, what's that, 3.5 hours
Yeah.
total every
Just practice
Tuesday?
with us.
Which is amazing.
We are
I-
the destination bike
That's
path.
true. I love him for it. But so I was like, well, no, I'd rather have you at practice. It's more valuable to your time. We have a concert coming up. So I told him, no, don't worry about it. We got it covered. So now I'm like, fuck. All right, maybe I'll make this happen.
Okay.
So I called.
There's a part in the middle of this.
All right, sorry. Good. Tell the part in the middle.
So
Sorry.
the part in the middle of this is you told me that one of our out of towners would be willing to come down and play this, but
Right.
that means they wouldn't come to Tuesday practice because they couldn't make the drive twice in 1 week.
Which is 100% reasonable.
More than 100% reasonable. I'm amazed that
He offered.
that they come down. Yeah, and so I got
That's a
on
guy
there.
that probably played team sports in some point in his life.
Isn't it the best though? Like, as much as I like to shit talk the fire guys, the army guys, or the team sports guys, like they're the only ones that get it.
They've been through it their whole lives. They get what team means.
And so I'm like, okay. So I get on this thread and I am literally like individually tagging people. I'm just like at so and so, at so and so, at so and so. Like I want yes or no answers. Like you either have to say yes or say no now.
Right.
And everyone's like, no, bullshit reasons. I'm like, this is our friend, one of our bandmates, and his daughter's softball game. Like, do you not have a heart? Do you not give a shit? Like, and don't get me wrong, I couldn't give a fuck about tiny humans.
Right.
But this actually touched me on an emotional level.
I don't care about the daughter. I care about him wanting to be there for his daughter.
I'm like, this is our fucking bro, dude. Like this is our bro who's asking for a favor. And guess what? Nobody fucking chimes in to help our bro out.
Right. So what's funny about it is you tag these people and they started responding at that point. No, I can't do it. No, I can't do it. Well, and started giving reasons, but they had to be called out to do it.
I had to call out every single person individually in the chat.
So then,
which I did.
So then you
I'm
called
just like,
out.
I'm like, you, what the fuck?
So, but what was funny about that is one of these people said maybe. Like, so we have yes, no, and maybe. And you even asked the no's. You were like, hey, no, people, can you make this happen? I know you said no. Is there any way around it? Basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
So one of the people
It's for our bro.
So one of these people said maybe, and we never heard back. And you're like, hey, you said maybe. Does that mean is this an option for you? And this person
immediately said no.
Yeah, but their tone and the way they said it was like, why did you respond maybe if that was your response to the way you asked?
You
that
already
question?
knew. Yeah,
you're like. It was so sarcastic.
I was so mad, man. Like I was frustrated because for me, like I fully believe pipe band's your second family.
For sure.
And for me, like
Maybe
anytime any of these motherfuckers call me, I am there.
Well, here's the thing. And I'm almost like same thing. If I can do it, I'll do it. And I've been doing that since the beginning. We used to do that all the time. So so we finally we arrange it so that Rick can do this and cover him. And so we make it happen, right? So I make it happen. I call Rick. I say, hey man, like I know I told you not to last week.
Bleep the name, or do we even care?
I don't know. You said you didn't care, so who cares? And he did a good thing, so let's give him credit for doing a good thing. So
dude, he was such a bro.
So I said, hey man, like I know you said I know I told you no, but like let's try to help this other guy out and make this happen, and then you just don't have to come to practice. He's like, okay, great, I'd love to do it. So, and he did, right? So,
and it was his first gig,
and
he fucking nailed it.
And he did a great job. Yeah, he really for his first gig.
Here's the moral of this story.
But wait, let me tell this one last thing, and then you can tell the moral. Bill, fuck.
Well, everybody knows.
Well, we know
Fireman Bill.
Yeah, Fireman Bill. So he texted me like the day after the gig or something, or whenever it was. He's like, "Hey man, I really appreciate you," because I originally told him like it's on you. Like it's not my responsibility to find you or replace me. You already said yes. So, but then I took it on. Like once
family,
I saw nobody respond, I'm like,
we're family.
I'm like, what the fuck? So anyway, he's texted me and I can probably pull it up, but he's like, hey man, I really appreciate you trying to finding somebody, getting Rick to do it for me, blah, 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 whatever. I'm like, hey, and I wrote back, anything for a bro.
Yeah.
That's all I had to say.
And you didn't get Rick to do it. Rick volunteered.
Well, he volunteered a week before. I just had to
he volunteered to help a bro, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So moral of the story is what?
The moral of the story is, when it comes to pipe band life, like there's an expected level of ride or die.
Sure.
Like always. Like for us, we would always ride or die for any of our pipe band peeps. You know this. I know this. Bill and Rick both know this now. And I wish that Rick didn't have to make the commitment that he did to come all the way down. But I guarantee you, him and Bill are going to be friends for the rest of their lives.
Well, there's definitely some sort of bond that will happen because of this.
And that's how it happens.
I have no
people ask, like people ask us, like, how are you guys so tight? Or, how am I so tight with my pipers?
Mostly it's because I've watched Josh fuck, but other than that.
Yeah, but other than that, like, and I watched you fail to tongue punch a fart box one time.
We always got to bring it back.
The little man in the boat, man, he's at the top.
Oh, is that where it is?
Yeah, you got to aim up.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, you were just.
I've been reading the wrong books.
You were just punching the taint the entire time.
I thought it was down low.
No, it's up towards the top, dude.
Graham lied to me. He told me it was the taint.
Well, that's going.
He also stuck a practice chair up his ass, or my practice chair up his ass. So I could.
But yeah, no, I think the thing is, like, people don't realize that the moments that forge these like eternal friendships are moments like that. Like it's the moment where someone's like, I want to go see my daughter's softball game. Can someone cover me on this gig? And then Rick drives down for an hour and a half or 2 hours to come cover the gig.
Right.
Like that's homie for life status.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's only 5 other people in town at 8:30 at night where I know they're not working. That could have done it, but they didn't.
The thing that blows my mind is people don't understand why some people are more bro.
Yep. And then there's always that jealousy.
Yeah, there's always it's like, well, you guys are so much closer. I was like, yeah, it's because I would do anything to help this motherfucker out. Because I know they would do anything to help me out. How many gigs have we covered for each other? How many times have we made sure everyone got home okay?
Exactly correct. I mean, that's why MLK is such a bro, because she's exactly that type of person.
Fucking A, man.
Absolutely.
So, Fusco, we've talked a lot about pipe band brodom, the importance of relationships, the importance of kind of understanding time. What are your final thoughts on this week's episode?
Be a good teammate, man. Like, sometimes you got to put yourself out for the good of the group, and it's worth it. Not only for them, but for you. I promise you it's worth it to be part of a group of people that maybe can achieve something better than what you were going to do at home by yourself anyway. So just be a fucking bro, I guess is the magic words of wisdom. Be a bro.
Is that our title for tonight? Be a fucking bro.
Let me write that down because I'll forget.
Yeah, be a fucking bro. No, I would agree. Like the thing that I never really put enough time into thinking about that I get asked about all the time is, I'm like when I'm out on dates or when I'm out meeting people that are not involved in the pipe band world. And they always ask why are you so obsessed with this? Why are you so involved with this? And why are all your best friends people that are in the pipe band world, whether they're in Northern Ireland or Australia or Charleston or Raleigh or Oklahoma? Mm-hmm. Why do you have this group of people that you care so much about?
Did you mention Cookstown?
I said Northern Ireland.
Okay, that's close.
I feel like that's a blanket statement.
Good point.
And they're how do you have all these people that are so close? And I was like, well, I put myself out there for these friendships, and they put themselves out there for my friendship, and we're bros. That's it. All you have to do is show up. Mm-hmm. That's the thing that blows my mind is people well, how do you have such good friends that live all over the globe? And how do you have such good friends that are here? And how do you have such good friends in the pipe band that have known you for 15, 16 years? I'm because I show up.
Mm-hmm. Exactly correct. Showing up is 9/10 of the law. Or whatever.
When they have a thing, I'm there.
Yep.
When they need help, I'm there.
Here's one thing. I want to say one more positive thing about you. And I will do the same. I've done this for a lot of times. But every shitty band I've ever been in, every shitty gig I've ever done, you're always there.
Oh, you're talking about your rock band shit?
Yeah. 99, maybe 98% of the time, you're always there. And like, for me, like, if anybody in our band did other things, I'm always there.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I went to like, how many? I went to this one teenager's piano recital.
It lucks out for
I went
the
to
fact that
one
that I
student's-
like rock and roll, and most of the venues you play I like.
Sure. I'm just saying, like,
But yeah, I don't
On
think
top
I've.
of that-
I think I've maybe missed like one show of yours.
maybe one.
Yeah.
You usually go to most of them. So, but I've been to like, I had the one teenager had a piano recital I went to. I had another band member that was in a choir. I went to their thing. I had this one kid that I was teaching pipes to that played in like a what do they call the bells?
what if-
the fucking
what if-
bells thing at LVA? I went to his bells concert just
That's all it is. All it is
just
showing up, man.
fucking support for people, man.
Like you just gotta show up for your mates.
Yeah, like if they're part of your team, you got to be part of their team.
Fucking A, man.
That's a
I
great.
mean, I still remember. One of the people that's going to be one of our snares now was concerned about I gotta get a pad and sticks, and I don't know, and I just.
Yeah.
Granted, you told them that I bought them their pad and sticks.
I didn't know
which
it was a secret.
I would have rather remained anonymous.
I didn't know that. I assumed they knew because
No, they didn't know.
It was so informal the way
Yeah.
it all went down. But so yeah, no. Josh donated pad and sticks for this person to learn because money's a little bit of a struggle for that person.
But I also knew that they would stick with it and get good, and they're already pretty. They're moving along.
They're very like singing,
Like-
yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like band is a family, and I know everyone likes to say that, but who actually shows up?
That's who you know. That's when you know. So anyway,
But
on that
yeah,
note,
this has been a deeper episode than I anticipated.
way
it
off.
being. Yeah,
But can I ask a favor?
of course,
Can I just do the ending?
of course.
So Fooko, play us out.
You just tell yourself to play us
I
out.
just want to tell myself to play us out.
All right, hey, thank you everyone who stuck along, and we'll catch y'all soon. We'll leave the chat open for a little bit, but
There's nobody there, but that's okay.
there's a couple people. But I'm just going to close it out. All right, cheers.